Approval. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the LTG show, episode number 227. My name is Sean Wilburn.
I'm Tony Hannity's.
And today we are here to talk about, well, the thing that we always talk about every single week, which is technology of the week, all kind of great news and information. Now, this is a podcast that is part of a website called LazyTechGuys.com. We encourage you to go ahead and visit that website. We have news, reviews, video game information, and more. Definitely go to LazyTechGuys.com. You can also email us at comments@LazyTechGuys.com or give us a call at area code 707-722-5299. Love to hear from you. It'd be great. Anyway, definitely would love to hear from you and all that. Now, this is also a live broadcast that we do on the Google Hangouts at 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time out here on the West Coast. So if you happen to be up at that time, we encourage you to come ahead and join us, watch the show live, throw us any questions our way, join the Q&A, and we will happily address them, or just throw your opinion our way. If you absolutely disagree with Tony and agree with me, then you go ahead and let us know. And then, if you do the opposite, then you're wrong.
That will never happen. You're always right.
Yeah. Tony, how are you doing today?
I'm doing phenomenal, man. I am getting very excited for spring break. That's about to happen for my son. So we're gonna be doing a little vacation that is well deserved for the whole family. And we have a few things that we are announcing. First, I'm going to announce something that I'm doing as a social experiment. Currently, we are recording on Google Plus Hangouts, as Sean had just alluded to. But we're also recording live using YouNow. YouNow is a free app on Android and iOS, and also has a web component where you can do live broadcasting, very similar to Meerkat. Now, I know we talked about Meerkat for a little bit last week, and unfortunately, right now, Meerkat's not available on Android, and although it is kind of the de facto live broadcasting app to use, there are a myriad of other options out there, and one of which is YouNow. It's a free app, and it, in its own right, is a social network, and I'm actually streaming live right now using my Android device. So all you guys right now that's watching, hi, how you doing? And I told everybody if they want to watch live and hear you, Sean, they can also go to our YouTube channel and listen to the whole conversation instead of just hearing me speak, because right now they're just hearing me speak. They can't even hear you. So you could just say gobbledygook, gobbledygook, and they'll think, man, I don't even know what Sean's talking about, but Tony knows his stuff. So, but on the flip side of that, I'm also going to be doing something similar with another app called Hang With. And the whole idea with this, I told you about last week, Sean, is that I want to start a kind of a daily tech news show during the day where I just talk about tech, and I'm trying to do it in the form where it's very safe, responsible, but also very engaging with the audience, because the audience can respond back. There's a chat window, and I'm also trying to figure out like which service doesn't eat up the most data. So that's one reason why I'm not using my Wi-Fi right now, because I'm going to do an hour-long show with you. I just want to make sure, does this eat up more data than Hang With versus some of the other ones? So we'll see. I've already got a few people watching right now. So hi, how's it going? So there's that. But there's something else that does relate to not only to our viewers on YouTube, but also the viewers on YouNow. LazyTechGuys.com is doing another giveaway right now, and this is for a free copy of Windows 8.1 Pro. Actually, it's Windows 8 Pro, but you get the free update to 8.1 Pro, which will later on this year get the free update to Windows 10. And so if you're building your own PC, or if you have Vista, or if you've got XP still, I don't know why you do, but if you do, and you're not looking to buy a whole new computer because you've got some pretty kick-ass components in there, you can try and win this $200 value operating system. And all you really have to do is go to our YouTube channel, watch the actual video regarding the giveaway, or you can go to, obviously, our website, and then it lays out everything that you have to do. Because there's only one code that we're giving away, but there's about, I'd say, 10 different ways that you can enter, including liking us on Facebook, retweeting the giveaway tweet, subscribing to us on YouTube, subscribing to us on Google Plus, or circling us on Google Plus. Those simple things, the more you do, the more entries you have. Or even if you only do one, you could be the one to win. So we're doing a completely random drawing. Even if I know you or don't know you, there's no favoritism whatsoever.
Tony?
In the United States, and that you are 18 years and older. That is the official guideline rules set by our founder, and I'm sure other laws and things like that. But yeah, go to
Tony? Tony? So, okay, so on my end, it seems like I've lost Tony. Let's see if it's on my end. Tony?
Yes.
So, yeah, I completely lost you on my end when you said go to, and then I know you're about to say lazy tech guys, but, it cut out. So,
okay, well.
Can you repeat that ending for me? For everyone here? Or we could have technical difficulties again with Tony. So, I'm assuming it's working fine on your end.
That was an alarm.
Okay. Okay, so are you there?
I'm here. I don't.
Okay. Yeah, so it cut out all the audio and video cut out on my end for you on this when you were saying
right now?
go to. Yeah, a little while ago.
Can you see me now?
I can see you now.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see how this is going. Well, also we'll have to keep an eye on that thing that you're running, the U thing, because maybe that's what's killing your bandwidth right now.
But I'm not using Wi-Fi. I'm using mobile data. Yeah, so we can't blame the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, well, we gotta check something out. Either way, let's get to work here. We got some good things to talk about, and let's start off today by talking about a new person who joining Google. What do we got going on here?
So Ruth Porat has now joined Google as their Chief Financial Officer. So for those of you who do not know who she is, she was at Morgan Stanley. Actually, she's not. She's from the UK, but she has a lot of experience being on Wall Street, and Google being the huge multi-billion-dollar company that they are, a lot of eyes are on them, and they have to make a lot of sound decisions, sometimes for the better or worse for said stockholders. So having her in somewhat of the passenger seat of the self-driving car, excuse that analogy, this is going to be very good for Google, because they're going to be getting a lot of insights to how Wall Street works, and how it's going to better benefit their company. And this is kind of a play against what Apple did back when they hired the CEO from Burberry for the Apple Retail Chief Officer. Her name is Angela Arendes, I think is how you pronounce her name. I'm not sure. If you know how to pronounce her last name, you let me know. Email us, comments@lazytechguys.com. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So she's going to start on. She's going to start reporting as the CFO on May 26th. So she's just going to kind of, this is her long 2-week notice to Morgan Stanley. But yeah, so that's good for them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And looks like we have some good news for the good old folks over in Salt Lake City, eh?
Dude,
so if they love the internet, right?
So one of my favorite podcast networks is the Frog Pants Network, and Scott Johnson lives in Salt Lake City, and he has for many times always uttered the words, if Google Fiber comes to my city, I will, expletive bricks, essentially. And it is now officially coming to Google Fiber. They are getting their gigabit speed, and I don't know if everybody knows, but Google Fiber also does TV. Not everyone subscribes to the TV service, but it's an option, obviously. And so, yeah, I don't. Did they mention exactly when it's coming? They just said Salt Lake City will be joining all the others in the coming months. So that's great. And with regards to the expansion of Google Fiber into more cities, hopefully we'll be seeing it in like L.A. I don't know if San Francisco is going to be impossible. New York is going to be totally impossible. I mean,
Whoa! Don't say impossible, bro.
okay, maybe not
They give it a
impossible.
chance, all right? They could pull something out.
Maybe not impossible, but very, very difficult because underlining the actual groundwork to pull out copper and throw in fiber or side by side is definitely easier said than done. But I mean, the fact that they're doing it at all is great. And this was originally just kind of an experiment for Google to see like what counties and cities would sign up for this, how many people would sign up for it, how well it would be for the customers, and for the most part, everyone using it is very happy. So, yeah.
Awesome.
The other thing with Google Fiber, especially for the TV folks, is that they are starting to do something called targeted trackable ads. So, Sean, you know how when you're watching a TV show, in the ad break, you get maybe 3.5 minutes worth of ads. Sometimes it's local ads for your local Honda dealership, or it's an ad for a sporting event, or it's ad for I can't believe it's not butter, and they don't seem to be very targeted to you. Sometimes they're targeted for a specific demographic because or a region. Like during the midday, you see a lot of ads that are kind of targeted for fiber, diets and maybe medicine that the elder generation would be using, because during that time of day, it's the vast majority of senior citizens are watching, game shows and soap operas and things of that nature. Well, Google wants to take their targeted ad model that they use with Google Ads, AdWords on their website, and actually push that into TV ads where they can live actually put relatable and targeted ads to you. So even if you're watching a DVR show weeks later, you're getting ads that are more relevant to you on the here and now instead of getting ads that were shown 2 weeks ago. So that's pretty cool. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, because I got a listener saying cannot see you on video on YouTube or Google Plus. Can only see when Sean speaks or when you speak.
Yeah, I was trying to warn you. Look in the group lead chat, dude.
Group lead chat?
The group chat between us.
So there's no video?
Yeah, there's no video for you.
Okay.
The audio is coming in fine.
Let me try. What about now? Video?
That is a great black screen. That is awesome.
All right, well, we are doing audio. Awesome.
All right. I'm sure it will come back at some point, right?
I don't know. You know what? Let's just move on because my beautiful face can still be seen on you now, and my tagline there is tech news while driving, so you can find me on you now there. Don't look down at your palm, Sean. Don't face palm. Okay, let's move on.
So I'm the only person that can be seen now.
Because you have a beautiful face over there, too.
All right, in that case, then I guess we should get on. Oh, real fast. The targeted TV ads, I'm fine with it. Makes sense. I'm not surprised. And I like one interesting thing is they said that they wouldn't charge advertisers when people don't see their ads.
Yeah,
that's huge.
That's huge.
Yeah,
that's huge because it's about impressions, right? And so if you take that same impression rate method that they use on the internet, then and they push that to the advertisers, then that is beneficial not only to both us as users, but also to the advertisers, so they're not really spending money that they don't need to spend. They're getting, somewhat to a degree, the best bang for their buck.
I dig it.
Yep.
Overall, it looks like it would benefit definitely advertisers because they will be able to have their money spent more wisely. It would benefit users because we would actually, hopefully, if it works correctly, have ads that would be targeted more to something we would actually want to watch. That way, so when Victor VJ goes and gets his TV, all he'll see is Transformer commercials all day long, and he'll be like in heaven, and he'll be very happy with that.
Yeah, the problem with seeing Transformer commercials all day long for him is that the day afterwards, the whole family would be bankrupt, but they would have a crap ton of awesome Transformer toys.
Yeah, they would not. He would not be mad that they're bankrupt. He would be so happy.
Like, Joy, I'm sorry we don't have a house, but check out this Megatron I bought.
All right. So there's a little company we spoke about in the past that's like a competitor or a company that's taking control of Android. They've been getting the support of Microsoft in the past, and it looks like they rose just a few extra dollars not too far long ago from some big names. What we got going on, Tony?
So back in the day, when you used to ROM and mod your phone, CyanogenMod was one of the main modders that you would go to get their nightly mods or their monthly mods to upgrade the capability of Android that isn't found if when you buy a phone from AT&T or Verizon, and it would give you capabilities and features that maybe even Google hadn't even thought about at that time. It was like, this makes Android that much more awesomer, and that is a word I'm using. Yes, deal with it. But the fact is, Cyanogen felt that they could do it better. And my alarm's kind of going off. But they felt that they could do it better. And so they became a company and not just a community of modders and hackers and whatever you want to call them. They are a company. They are for profit. And now they have received, or rather, they've raised $80 million with backing from the likes of Telefonica, Rupert Murdoch, and Twitter Ventures. This is Twitter's first step into the venture capitalist world. And it's very, very exciting to see what Cyanogen is doing, because just like the owner of Cyanogen said about a month ago, they want to take back Android from Google. They truly believe that what Google has done to Android in the consumer realm is not what Android is for. Google has their ads, they've got their search algorithms, and they have all the information about you, and you are a product. You're just a number to them in which they can sell ads and products and other services to. Whereas Cyanogen, obviously there's money to be made there as well, but they feel that they can use the Android AOSP model and still give a much better user experience to the users that are out there. And in fact, there's going to be a Cyanogen device that is built from the ground up, made by Blue later on this year. And the thing about all of this talk, $80 million, great for a Cyanogen, but there's no Microsoft. And Microsoft was actually poised to, or rather rumored, to be one of the companies to invest in Cyanogen. And there was so much speculation left and right because, there was the Microsoft applications that are becoming pre-installed on Samsung and Dell tablets, Android tablets. And it was like, oh, well, it makes sense for Microsoft because Microsoft makes money from Android. But in this case, it doesn't look like Microsoft is investing in Cyanogen. So what this means, though, in certain markets, you're going to have an option between Google's Android and Cyanogen's Android. And what works for you might not work for others, but it's just an option. It's just like how Amazon has their version. Not many people know that Amazon's Fire phone, Amazon's Fire tablet, are Android-based. You wouldn't know unless you're tech nerds like us. But for the normal person, they just don't know, and that's not a bad thing. It's just choice. I'm not sure by breaking off from Google, because there's not going to be any Google services whatsoever. No Google Maps, no Gmail, no YouTube. You'd have to use a bunch of kind of third-party apps. But hell, there's going to be like a really good Twitter integration, and there's going to be a bunch of Rupert Murdoch. So there's a bunch of news stuff, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So what do you think, Sean? Do you think this is a good move for Cyanogen by, like, to a certain degree, cutting ties from Google's Android altogether, or is it, or are they getting a little bit too big for their britches too soon?
I would never fault anyone for taking a chance on trying to make something bigger, better, and make something happen. Let's give it a shot, guys. Let's see what happens. I root for them, and hopefully they can pull something out. Stay organized, watch their money, make sure everything stays good, and stay on the path, and you'll be all right. So,
as the most interesting man in the world once said, stay thirsty, my friends.
Yeah. I was thinking more like stay on the path, like something, oh, God. I cannot put my finger on what movie. I keep thinking Raiders of the Lost Ark, but not that. Just something where if you veer from the path, you're not gonna get caught away, like a Lord of the Rings thing. But anyway, all right. So if you guys haven't already noticed here, if you're going through your Facebook feed, like on your phones, you're like, hey, what is this? You see a video, all of a sudden will just start playing on its own. Like here's a little video of a little, like it looks like a goat or a cat or something escaping a dog escaping a little a kin or like a pin or something jumping out of it. And you're like, oh, what's this video happening? And well, you hit and then you click it, and then the audio starts, and you're able to see the full video in its full glory, and it's like a glorious thing, and it's such a great experience. And it looks like Facebook has realized that this is pretty awesome because their people watching videos on Facebook has increased significantly. I don't know, Tony, is there a spec for that, or they just pretty much have said there's just a major increase?
There's no. I don't think they've actually said a number, but there's a significant increase of people not clicking out of Facebook to watch said videos. They're staying within Facebook, and as I mentioned, also there's a bunch of there's related videos as well, which again encourages to watch another video, but still by staying within Facebook.
So now, if you haven't already known this, if you are taking YouTube videos and linking it to Facebook, you do not get as much credit in a way as you do if you just upload the videos to Facebook. So they've already favored their own videos, and now the videos play, people are watching them, they're enjoying them, and they want to increase the quality of the videos. They want to make them better, and they want to get advertisements also involved with the videos because they make money on that. So
Yay.
they're
Yay, advertisements and money.
They are expanding they're expanding what they're looking for. So they're reaching out to Vice, Onion, Vox Media, and some other people, and they're trying to look for people to make some short-form videos to use to put ad-sponsored videos and have ads in front of them. So in the near future, expect to see increased quality videos on your Facebook feeds, see ads start popping up on them, and they'll probably catch your eye, and most important of all, they're going to try to set it up so you don't click that YouTube button to go to YouTube, you don't click that SoundCloud button to go to SoundCloud, you don't click the Vine button to go to Vine. Everything stays within Facebook, and they're all happy. So Tony, are you pretty good with this? You think it's a good move for them, or they just a necessary move in a way?
I'm actually surprised that this wasn't done sooner. This whole autoplay video phenomenon for Facebook was actually reported over a month ago of how well it's been done on Facebook, so much so that even Twitter is toying with the idea of doing the similar method on their Twitter stream for their official applications and their website. Like right now, if you watch a Vine on Twitter, it won't. I don't think it auto plays, but it lets you open the Vine within Twitter without having to go to Vine.com to watch it. But you still have to open up the link. And with Facebook, there's no link to open up to initiate the video. It just plays right there, whether you wanted to or not. And that is, as I mentioned to you pre-show, that is very powerful because you might not have cared about the name of the video. You might not have cared about who had shared the video, but there might have been a split second within the video, something that just catches your eye. Maybe a cute dog. Maybe have been a hot girl. Like, how is she involved in the video? Let me find out. Something like that. And you click that video, it just gets you, catches your attention. And by the end of it, you realize that you've watched the whole video, and then, as I mentioned, you have a bunch of related videos as well. I know that this video, instant video, is really powerful too, because when you watch a video that is being shared to your stream and you open the video, you see a bunch of comments and reshares from thousands of other people that you've never met before or even care to meet. And sometimes the comments are funny, sometimes they're hateful, and it feels very much like YouTube. And guess what? It is. It's so much like YouTube. And that is good for Facebook because now you can spread all of your love and hatred and whatever else on Facebook, and to a certain degree, it might even take away trolls because if you're using your real name on YouTube on Facebook, then you don't want people to really
Yeah.
know how you feel about it
Nope.
unless you
Nope.
create a fake account, and in that
Nope.
case,
Nope.
then you have no life and you're stupid.
It
But
didn't stop people on YouTube. Didn't stop people at all on YouTube. Remember when they made everybody use their real names? Yet those people are still
yeah, I
spitting
know,
fire on those things.
but
It will not
for
stop people.
no, but for some reason I feel like when you compare comments on Facebook to comments on YouTube, people are more prone, like the social uh, bias on YouTube is that even if you know my name, I don't care. I'm gonna say what the heck I want. But on Facebook, your mom's on there, and your dad's on there, and that cute girl's on there, and you don't want her to know that you think that this video about gun control is this way or that way because you know that they're going to be against your opinion.
Well, no, because that guy who's going to be into a girl who's into has the same opinion about gun control, and
Not necessarily.
he's gonna say that same, yeah, this is what I believe, and then she's gonna be like, oh, I like this. This guy's a guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's
I mean,
pushing it, but
no, I think it's just for everyone out there. There's someone who kind of there's someone out there for them, even
right.
whatever
Maybe
you
that's a
feel
bad
is-
example. Maybe that's a
Yes.
bad example. I just feel that on Facebook, you to a certain degree you are a little bit more careful on what you comment, especially for the fact that people can see that you have commented on something, even though that you may not have publicly wanted people to see that you've made a particular comment on a video, but that's due to your privacy settings, and people don't know how to change their privacy settings for the most part. So I don't know. Either way, going back to the topic at hand, I think that this is good also for the companies like Vice and The Onion and Vox Media, because Vox, for people who don't know, Vox is The Verge, that's Polygon, that's who else, Sean? SB Nation. They have a very large YouTube presence, and if they were to keep hold of that and maybe have exclusive videos for Facebook, because it says right here they want them to produce short form videos for the social network, so it would be exclusive videos only for Facebook.
It doesn't say exclusive. It just says short form videos for the network.
For the network, it doesn't. But so that could mean, and again, we're splitting hairs, but if you want to parse it, that could mean that they're only going to have these videos on Facebook because you have to upload them to Facebook, and maybe they'll, after a couple of days or whatever, they'll reshare it to other video streams like on their YouTube channel or the Vimeo channel. And there's actually another product we're going to be talking about later that does this exact thing. That's a possibility, and that would increase the amount of likes on the Onion's Facebook page, and so on and so forth for Vice and Vox and whoever else that signs up.
I think it's more of they discover certain videos are more popular and they sell better, so they want them to produce certain videos with a certain time limit. And when they went to The Onion and all these people, maybe these guys make all different type of videos. They're like, hey, in particular, hey, if you happen to have any videos, 5 minutes or less, sort of like these topics, hey, can you shoot those our way? And if you don't think, hey, is it possible you can make some of those? That's what they're asking for.
Yeah, exactly.
This isn't necessarily about exclusivity. This is like, I don't know if they care that the videos are elsewhere. They just want to make sure they're on their network so they can share it with their friends. So.
No, you're right. That is a possibility. But I mean, I guess even if it is a video that's not exclusive, it's a video that you can find anywhere. The fact that it is on Facebook, within the Facebook video, whatever, then that going back to this whole thing that we're talking about is going to be golden for Facebook.
All right, so Facebook apparently has looked at another feature and added it in there, something that makes you remember the good old days. What is it? On this day.
Yeah.
So tell me about. I haven't seen this yet.
Have you ever tried the app called Time Hop?
No.
So for those of you that are watching on YouTube and those of you that are watching on YouNow, wow, that's weird.
Watching. Okay. Yeah.
No, they're watching. There's a free app on iOS and Android called Time Hop, and when you sign in with your Facebook account, you can also link your Instagram, your Twitter, your Google Plus, your Dropbox, and Foursquare account. And what happens is that it searches back through all your tweets, all of your Instagram posts, all your Facebook posts, and every day it says, 2 years ago you posted this, 3 years ago you posted this, and it's kind of a nice, kind of simple look back at memory lane. It's like, oh, 2 years ago I found out that I was leaving Verizon. So let me reshare that because that was a very momentous occasion in my life, for better or for worse, and definitely for better. And it's kind of cool to look back instead of having to scroll through your whole like feed, like what happened 2 years ago, what happened 3 years ago. Time Hop makes it very easy. Facebook is doing their own, and this is called On This Day, and I think it hasn't been available yet. It will be when you sign into your Facebook account. It'll be under the URL of facebook.com/onthisday, and it will be an opt-in situation. So that's kind of a good thing, I think. It'll be available on iOS, Android, mobile, web, and desktop. And pretty much the same thing applies. It'll go back through all of your Facebook posts, and it'll say a year ago you said this post. Whether it has a picture or not, this is what you said a year ago. 2 years ago, you had this post. And, it might be a nice nostalgic thing that you can go back through. Maybe it'll bring up some things you might have not wanted to see or remember, but, that's the whole, I guess that's the whole point of memory, that you've moved on. You went through this tragic time or whatever it is, and you moved on, and you're better for it. So I think it's cool. I'm going to sign up for it just to see how it is. And I actually re-signed up for Time Hop just when this post came out, and there was a few things that came up on my Time Hop feed. I was like, oh, I had pizza 2 years ago on this day. Good for me. Yeah.
You'll see all this. Yeah. Well, you know what? For the people who are very active and that's a part of their life, and then that's a really cool thing. I guess Facebook integration is great, but honestly, if the other service, was that one called Time Hop, does more than Facebook?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, Time Hop is not owned by Facebook, so they don't have any. Well, I guess Instagram kind of shares to other networks too, but Time Hop on their own, they've been doing this for quite some time. Very popular application. And one thing I do like is that it can also go into your Dropbox app. So if you have a bunch of photos that have been auto-uploaded to Dropbox, then just imagine that, if you take a vacation on a particular day, then using Time Hop, it says, hey, on Time Hop, or rather, 4 years ago, you uploaded all these photos onto Dropbox. Like, oh yeah, I did. You kind of scroll through and like, oh yeah, that was a fun day or whatever. Facebook might do the same thing, but only if you have shared the photos to Facebook, or maybe if you are doing the auto sync of photos to their private cloud as well too, which I do. I'm running out of room, actually. I don't know what I'm going to do then. But, yeah.
All right, well, I don't know. Just seems like a great idea and cool stuff for very active Facebook people.
Can you see me now?
No, I still see an LTG.
No, see me now. Okay, then I'll just turn video off then again.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and take a break. While we're taking a break, Tony's going to try to get his video going. But during this break, we're going to go ahead and talk about a little service called audible.com. Now, pretty much what I'm going to do here is I'm going to save you $15 if you want to go ahead and check out a killer audiobook service. I'm going to save you $15 and I'm going to give you a URL that you can use to sign up. The URL is audibletrial.com/lazy. If you use that URL, once again, audibletrial.com/lazy, you will get 30 days to check out their service, and you get a free book in the deal. Now, I've always been saying they had over 100,000 books. Then I said, they have over 150,000 books. Well, guess what? Over 180,000 now. They're adding books faster than we can imagine, way faster than we can count. And you find bestsellers like, bestsellers and popular books like, of course, 50 Shades of Grey. That book's very popular nowadays. Other things in here, Gone Girl, Ready Player One. Here's another one. The Girl on the Train is other big seller books, top-selling books that you'll find. And we're not talking about just the latest thing. We're talking about history books, classic books. We're talking about business books, even fiction, kids books, self-development books, books that just going to help you become a better person. So you're going to find all of that on this service. Use that URL, audibletrial.com/lazy, and you get 30 days to check it out for free, and you get a free book in the deal. So you might as well go shopping, find something really, really good to use, and when you find it, enjoy it, listen to it, and you'll get plenty of time. Like I'm actually looking at the time here, like Ready Player One, 15 hours long, The Nightingale, 17 hours long, 50 Shades of Grey, 19 hours long, To Kill a Mockingbird is about 12 hours long. So you're going to get countless hours of entertainment, allows for a long time, works on every device you have, and then just everything you need to find is there. So audibletrial.com/lazy. Sign up, use that URL, and enjoy quite a killer service. And I'd like to thank them for being a sponsor. All right, Tony, now you have some updates that are happening with Microsoft here that is pretty big here. Actually, about 3 of them here. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and get started.
Right. So, like I alluded to earlier regarding Microsoft having Android apps on the Galaxy S6 and the Galaxy S6 Edge, Microsoft has actually signed 11 other agreements with other OEMs to bring their Office application to more Android handsets and tablets. And I actually mentioned one of the other companies, which is Dell. And unfortunately, I don't have a list of the other companies that are included with these agreements. But I mean, this is good for Microsoft. It is, for lack of a better, term, it's a little late. I mean, as much as I promote Microsoft during my day job, all up front, I work for Microsoft as a trainer. So my whole spiel is Office, Office, Office. But at the same time, in the real world, there's a lot of Google Docs and a lot of Pages and a lot of Polaris Office and a lot of LibreOffice and OpenOffice, and there's a lot of that because people just unfortunately they rather not pay for word processing services and spreadsheet services that they can get for free, and Google has done a fairly good job at that. But the thing is, Office still is a very well used and widely used program in many companies, from your standard daily grind job in the office building all the way up to medical assistant and things of that nature. So having Office ubiquitous everywhere to everybody in a freemium fashion is a very bold move from Microsoft, but we've already seen Microsoft do this. And the thing is, these are pre-installed. I don't know if this means that the user can uninstall them if they so choose to. The benefit, though, then, is if they can uninstall it, they can always reinstall it because Office is available in the Google Play Store. So that's good for them. And then with Office 365, that would unlock some more premium features. But, yeah.
Hey, can I throw one little thing in there?
Please do.
So at my job, we actually have one computer that has Office, full license Office. And on all the other computers, because we're a small business, we don't have a lot of money, we all went like open source. We all went LibreOffice. So yeah, reasons why usually are financial reasons why people try to go with other sources or other means, because a lot of times you're not really needing particularly anything more but to read a document. And if you're dealing with a company that sends you a document, a docx document, you need something that's going to read that file format, and you have to go to Office. And a lot of times it's like, well, I don't want to spend Office when I only get one doc a month from these people. So free Office becomes an option, and sometimes it's the same thing for Excel documents or other kind of spreadsheets. So by them doing this and opening it up, they're pretty much ensuring that people are going to use the format that has set the standard for what we all use anyway.
Pretty much.
Right now, everybody's starting to get away from the standard, and everybody's starting to look at all these other options, and Microsoft needs to reel that back in, and that's what they're doing, and this is a smart move for them. So yeah,
it's funny. It's so weird because the attitude ever since Satya took hold, the attitude that people have about Microsoft with them putting apps on Android and iOS is completely 180. If Ballmer would have done it, I really feel strongly about that, and this is purely
No.
Well, this is purely my opinion, but from my experience of talking to different people, I know it was Ballmer's choice to make an iPad app first. I know that, and I get that. But for whatever reason, Ballmer isn't getting the accolades from it. And now that Microsoft is putting Word and everything else on these, in allowing you to put Word, Excel on tablets and phones in the Android ecosystem, people that before said, "Who the hell uses Word and Excel anymore?" are now saying, "Oh, this is probably a good thing to have it on there." It's just interesting that they've changed their tune. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that they're hypocrites. I'm just saying that they've changed their tune all of a sudden when a year ago they would have they're talking Office down, and now they're saying, "Okay, this is good."
Well, my thing is, I'm not really saying they're saying talking Office down. My point is, I was going to say, I think it's more of an issue of there has been word about Microsoft possibly moving Office and getting it to other platforms, and it slowly happened. And as it slowly happened, we got our Office 360 eventually, and they were slowly pushing it out. Satya Nadella has not been in Office that long, and they have been moving things forward. What I see, what people are looking at and seeing in Microsoft, which is causing the change, it's called progress. That's what it is. People are seeing all these changes, and you hear the positive announcements about Windows 10. Then you see all the little things that they're doing, and when you keep seeing a bunch of little things doing, it's like, okay, and this might be something. Now, keep in mind, we meaning the world, has been under the thumb of I'm sorry, Ballmer. I'm kind of like he's a president or something. No, Ballmer had run the company for so long. When the new boss got there, everyone says, "All right, we're used to everything being one way, but we're willing to give you a second chance. Okay, you're selling us these things that seem reasonable. Hey, you're coming through with your promises. Okay, all right, okay. Well, you're doing all right, guys. Let's keep it up." People get positive when you see people backing up and going on their word and providing services that just seem like common sense. I don't know. I just think Satya is doing a great job. The fact that they're doing these, I think it's because he is in there that they're able to move forward and make these things happen the way that they're moving. So I really believe it.
I agree with you. Everything that you just said. I just find it interesting that people have changed their tune because Microsoft has made good on some of their promises in a relatively quick amount of time, and people that I would have never thought would have said that this is a good thing for Android and Microsoft would ever iterate that and say those words, and they are. I just find that that's interesting. So that's all.
Awesome. All right, what else we got going on here, man? If I was a Windows 8 user, it'd be great if I had Windows 10. Any chance I can get that? Any kind of deals on those I could get, Tony?
Well, hey, man, I can get you Well, since you have Windows 10, Windows 8, I can get you Windows 10. Like, you gotta, meet me around the back.
How much are we talking about? How much are we talking about?
Meet me around the back.
Okay, all right, let's go around back. How much are we talking about?
Free 99.
No, man, you can't. No, man, that's too good, man. Tell me the truth, man. What's the catch? No, I don't believe that, man. That can't be right, dude. What's the catch?
So we already know Windows 10 is going to be a free upgrade for Windows 7 and Windows 8 users, and we have a more definitive date as to when Windows 10 is going to be released this year. Well, not a date, more of a timeline. It's going to be released this summer, and I think we talked about this last week, but summer goes all the way to September 22nd. So just bear in mind how big companies work. But yeah, it could be as late as September, but it's still going to be before the holiday season. And in any event, not only is it going to be free for Windows 7 and Windows 8 and 8.1 users and Windows 8.1 phone users or Windows Phone 8.1 users, it's also going to be free for users that have actually pirated Windows 7 in the past. Now, before you jump off your couch and start punching the wall, there was a lot of that. People were like, wait, what did he just say? I've got someone's like, I've got like 12 copies of pirated copies of Windows 7, so now I've got Windows 10 free, the actual version. Well, no, the wording was a little interesting. Basically, the wording said, with I forget the original wording, but there was a press release that went out that said, with Windows 10, although non-genuine PCs may be upgradable to may be able to upgrade to Windows 10, the upgrade would not change the status of the genuine states. So if a device was considered non-genuine or mislicensed prior to the upgrade, that device will continue to be considered non-genuine or mislicensed after the upgrade. And then again, Ars Technica contacted Microsoft one more time, and they said, what are the material implications of having a non-genuine free upgrade to Windows 10? And their response was no comment. So
no support is the answer.
Exactly. So let me clear this up.
Even I'd get that.
When you have a non-genuine copy of Windows, you get no security support. So you best believe that you're leaning on the fact that you might have to redo your whole machine every 6 months, depending on what kind of stuff and crap that you get on your computer, or you have really good antivirus software, or you just know what the heck that you're doing with your computer, or you just have a bunch of bugs and you don't care. One of those options. When you get the upgrade to Windows 10, the same thing is going to apply. It's just now that you're in Windows 10 and you get the benefits of Cortana and the new Project Spartan browser and the Windows 10 experience. So that's cool. It's just, if there's a new update, specifically a security update, and we've seen a bunch of security updates that have come out in the past few months from Microsoft, including the Freak vulnerability, and where Microsoft updated that. Well, if you have a non-genuine copy, then you're still vulnerable to Freak and things of that nature. So good luck to you. That's all I got to say about that. But still, even with that, Sean, it's still a very interesting move for Microsoft to basically admit that, yeah, we have a huge amount of people, not just in China, but a good amount of people in China that have pirated our copies of Windows 7. And hey, we're gonna kind of throw them a bone. We're gonna give Windows 10 to them, and it's not like they were gonna go out and buy Windows 10 anyways, right? So we're just gonna make the experience the same for everybody across the board, and in hopes that, and it's a big hope, I get it, but in hopes that the person that's using Windows 10 says, hey, this is kind of maybe not a cool experience, but maybe like actually I want that feature. And that feature is very beneficial to me. And even if I get another rip of Windows 10, that feature is not available to me because I have to have a genuine copy. Maybe that will coax them again. I highly doubt it. But it's basically Microsoft saying, we're not going to get any money either way, so let's just make it free across the board. Maybe they'll sign up for Office 365 or they'll pay for some game in the Microsoft Store. I don't know, but it's better setting them up for a success versus failure of not getting everybody on the same level playing field. Plus, this just makes it a lot easier when you look at the pie graph of how many people have Windows 7 versus Vista versus 8 versus 10. So yeah,
can't wait to get it. That's all I got. All right, you got one more here?
I have one more here. Microsoft relegates Internet Explorer to a legacy engine to make way for a new browser. So, for many, many moons, moons and suns, we haven't really been given a definitive answer as to what is happening with Internet Explorer with regards to the new browser codenamed Project Spartan. And as of today, or I guess, still today, March 24th, 2015, we have a little bit more information. So moving forward in Windows 10, or rather when Windows 10 consumer version comes out, the final version comes out, the Project Spartan browser rendering engine and the browser itself will be the de facto default browser for all Windows 10 customers. What this means is that Internet Explorer 11 will remain fundamentally unchanged from which it was with Windows 8.1, and it will continue to host the legacy engine exclusively. Now, how this is beneficial, it's all about browser compatibility. When you are in a big business, especially multi-million-dollar companies that are on a backbone of a server and they're browser specific, If you upgrade everybody to the Project Spartan browser and something breaks, well, then there goes a big chunk of your company's revenue for that day, because you were pretty much spending the whole day fixing your browser and fixing your website and fixing your services. If they have Internet Explorer in the back end able to be run with the Internet Explorer browser, that's less likely to happen. So there's still gonna be two browsers. So Internet Explorer is going to be phased out kind of slowly as time moves on, but it's not going away right away. So it will die, but it's going to be in a slow manner. So for those of you who are just like, yes, I can't wait for Spartan, Project Spartan, or whatever they're going to call it, can't wait for that to come out, great, because it will come out with the consumer version, and it will be your default browser. And I actually posed a question to the Microsoft team, and I asked them, so if I just want to use, for me, I don't really care about backwards compatibility to a large degree. So if I just want to use the Project Spartan browser and uninstall Internet Explorer, can I? And they didn't say no, but they didn't say yes. So I don't know what that means.
Well,
I'm thinking yes.
I'm thinking IE is kind of tied into the OS probably in some
maybe
form,
like
it hasn't been in the past, and
right.
removing it probably would be a little bit more difficult. So they're going to leave it as a legacy browser, throw it in the back of the thing, just in case some legacy program that needs to run something needs it. It's always there for you, but they're going to encourage you to use a new one.
The interesting thing is what's going to happen is that when somebody gets a new computer, if they're not very savvy as to what browser is better than the other, they are familiar with the lowercase e and the weird kind of ring around it. It's like, oh, that's internet. Boom, internet. What's the Project Spartan browser logo going to be? And are those people going to be aware of the change, or are they just going to be like, I don't like change, and then go look for the E with the little ring around it? What do you think?
Well, firstly, they need a name for it. Until they give us the name, we have no idea what it's going to be. Two,
let's just say that they call it Microsoft Spartan, just for argument's sake.
Well, I don't know. It's hard to say, because here's the thing: like, browsers are fine. I'm tired of looking at round circles. So, like, the icons on my Mac of Safari and Chrome look exactly the same. They're both kind of round circles that are very similar. And Firefox, would you believe it, is also a round circle. So I'm at this thing where, you know what? I don't care. Just make it stand out in some way. And for all the people who have problems finding the internet, what's most likely what they're going to do, someone's going to do is, move the internet up there, and then they're just going to have it, and they're going to change the name of the internet, and then it's going to be done. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal for people finding it. The name, the icon. Give me a name first. I just want to make sure it doesn't have a silly name.
You say it's not that big of a deal, but people make such big deal about nothing, and it's just, I just feel like someone's going to make a big deal. It's going to make some good headlines, but it's going to come up.
Dude, somebody will say something, and people will make this fuss, but it'll just be stupid, and in those cases,
it's going to be stupid.
I am going to disregard. Like, if someone says it, I'm just going to be like, so, like, if you're you're hanging out with a bunch of your friends, and someone says something really dumb, everybody looks at them and they say no. That's what I'm going to do. I'm like, that kind of thing. Anyway, all right. Let's move on. What we got here? All right. So, quick follow-up to what we talked about last week. So, we mentioned the Sony PlayStation Vue. That's their internet TV service. Supposed to be around $50 to $70. It looks like we were right. It is officially launched in New York, Philadelphia, and Chicago. If I remember the third, Chicago. They have an entry-level price of $50 and two higher edition tiers. One that gives you like lifestyle style channels, and one that gives you like local sports channel like Comcast Sportsnet and things like that. And those for additional $10 for each of the higher end tiers. A lot of what we talked about, kind of like we were mentioning it last week, how it seems like depending on what your needs were, something like this, Sling TV, or just sticking with cable would be your best option. And upon reading the official release, it looks like Tony and I were right on point. So high five, bro. Virtual high five.
Yeah, virtual five with my video off.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll high five my YouNow group. High five.
Oh, there you go. All right. So they have no idea why you're high fiving them, but it's okay. All right,
Well, it's true they don't.
so the View is something, and this is kind of I guess what Sony's entire play is, and I guess there's been a lot of people jumping all over it, and it just really depends on what you need. But their play is they're after male gamers at least average age between 18 and 39. And there's the saying that those gamers are usually not the only person in the household. Usually they have other people, but usually a significant other, kids are in the household. So they usually have two TVs, maybe three. They probably have a PS3 or a PS4. And since the service uses PS3s and PS4s currently to use it, in a way it converts those into cable boxes and allows you to stream up to three of them at one time, two PS3s and one PS4. So you now have the option for one fee to have cable in three different prices for the same price that you would get for like a mid-tier thing with Comcast. They're looking at doing an iPad app in the future, and they're already in process of that. So pretty soon we'll be able to use an iPad and watch live TV with this. And this includes all the live TV and pretty much a good allotment of most of the channels, minus ABC/Disney owned channels, and which includes ESPN and of course, well, Disney. pretty big deals there though. All right, so but yeah, so it looks like there's an official, the thing is happening. If you live in one of those three markets, there's a 7-day trial period. If you happen to be there, let us know what you think about it. They're going to go to different markets probably as they get contracts and numbers all figured out. So Tony, anything you want to add to that thing, or?
No, I just want to say that you and I are the bomb on this, so that's
what can you say? All right, this is interesting. So last year we were talking how YouTube was rumored to be taking or buying Twitch TV. Twitch. Then it turns out that they didn't. Well, it looks like YouTube might have been mad. So now, no. It looks like YouTube is actually developing, and they're going to launch their own live streaming platform directly focused with e-gaming for gaming and esports. This is pretty much, they know that there's a huge growth in that market. They want to go ahead and take a shot at it, and this is a big deal. Now, this is not the first time. I think they had a League of Legends deal that happened a couple of years back, and I've been seeing them trying to do more and more live streaming. But, of course, this is all still rumor. This is something that's supposed to launch in a couple months. So if you were interested in YouTube, Google getting into Twitch, or if you saying, oh, I got to stay as far away from that as possible, looks like it's happening anyway. And it looks like it might be called YouTube Live or something on those lines. So keep your eyes open. Live YouTube, video game, streaming and stuff is going to be happening more and more, most likely, if it's true. Awesome. All right, so what we got here. Tony, you want to talk about a breakup once upon a time between HP and Apple.
Well, yeah, I mean, HP had Beats Audio integrated into a bunch of their devices. They had, the lowercase b, all plaster. I mean, I have an HP computer right here, and there's Beats right there. And I'll be the first to say I don't even hear the difference, to be honest with you. But hey, having Beats Audio, that name recognition sold a lot of laptops and desktops and whatnot. But because Apple bought Beats, the partnership between the Beats division and HP has now been dissolved. But HP is not going to stop there. They've actually partnered with Bang & Olufsen, and that, in my opinion, is much better. Just comparing B&O's headphones to Beats headphones, I thoroughly enjoy B&O way more. Sean, you can chime in anytime. But
I've never listened to B&O, but I've heard Beats, and I could probably say that is correct.
Yeah. I mean, they're right around the same price point, and to a certain degree, Bang & Olufsen has a little bit more high-end, almost like Audio-Technica up to Sennheiser almost. I don't know. Maybe No?
Bang & Olufsen is hitting a high-end consumer market where
Sennheiser, so that's not Sennheiser. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Sennheiser kind of appeals for a high-end professional market.
Sure. So. Okay, so, but yeah, going back to what I said, way better than Beats. So anyways, B&O's technology with respects to their equalizer and their speakers and all that, all the guts inside the laptops and desktops and maybe future tablets as well too, will be branded just like how the Beats audio brand are on some of the older HP devices, and you'll be seeing them in the Spectre, Omen, Envy, and some other commercial PCs. So it's just going to be PCs right now, not tablets, it seems. But they're also going to be reselling B&O accessories for HP hardware. So this is probably a good move for HP because, again, name recognition is, branding is key to this game. And although B&O doesn't have like the notoriety that Beats does, I've known about B&O for a long time. And before Beats came around, I was a big fan, and I still am. For the price point that you're paying, I truly feel you're getting a better, better set of headphones and cans and whatnot. The question is, how good is B&O in a laptop form? Because when you're testing them on the showroom floor, it might be a very different experience. And the thing is, when I bought my Beats, when I bought my HP laptop with the Beats audio integration, I knew what I was already getting because I just know laptop speakers, they just suck. No matter who you have in there, Skull Candy, Beats, who else is there? There's Harman Kardon. I don't care what name you put on there, they all pretty much suck. And so I'm a little frightened to a degree that having B&O's brand on there isn't really going to do anything, but it might. I don't know. I'm hopeful. Let's just put it that way. I'm hopeful for that. So we're gonna. I think one of the first devices to have B&O's branding is going to be the Spectre X360 laptop, which is the laptop that flips all the way around. But yeah, bye Beats.
I wholeheartedly agree with you, and I am at the same point of this entire thing. I'm like, they partnered with Bang & Olufsen now. I'm like, what exactly was the Beats partnership exactly? A B logo on the laptop? What are we getting here exactly? Are we getting a B and O now? Are they just going to add an etch, and they're going to take the Beats logo and just add a little an and sign and an O and be like, hey, there we go, and just ship them out the door? I mean, what are we really getting? Are they just changing the cones from a paper cone to a different type of paper cone? I mean, they're saying they're putting processing. Is it just a EQ processing? Is it like, I mean, what do we got? Sorry, I know you don't have the answers, but those are the questions I'd have to ask to saying what exactly is happening here. And it's the same question I had about the Beats one. And I was very skeptical. I was just like, wait,
yeah,
what?
You were very skeptical about putting Beats in HPs. Like it was definitely a marketing branding move that helped.
Yeah. But, and I'm just curious about whether this is the same. But it's
No, I agree. I am too.
Yeah. So
I just can't tell you how many times I would show somebody like a Lenovo, like, oh, well, that's cool. Does it have Beats? Like, well, no. Oh, that HP has Beats. Like, yeah, but honestly, you can't even tell the difference. But it has Beats. Yes. Okay, fine. You want Beats? Here's Beats. Like, okay, good. It's like, okay, whatever makes you happy, fine. From what I was told from HP officially, it was, like you said, equalizer technology that they used that was, I guess, derived from Beats, in conjunction with specific hardware that they developed in partnership with the Beats group.
So the DA converter, what?
I don't know the exact hardware, but whatever hardware it was that was implanted in HP software that you, according to them, you're not going to find that specific hardware anywhere else. This could be the same play with B&O hardware and the B&O equalizer. Again, it's going to be the speaker system in a laptop. So bring a Bluetooth speaker with you. That's all I'm saying. Sean has a bunch of Bluetooth speakers he's tested, so he knows. He knows which one to get.
So side note here, I just thought about this now. Since we're talking about high definition audio, and I only thought about this because you mentioned a minute ago when you're on the show floor and you're listening. So I got a chance to check out the high definition. That $1,500 Walkman that Sony is talked about, or that really expensive one that they talked about at CES.
Yeah.
I got a chance to listen to it. Check it out because they had it at NAMM. I went, had it in my hand. I listened to that ridiculously overpriced set of headphones that they have, and well, I'm not gonna lie, it sounded incredible. Though that whole setup sounded absolutely incredible. The price for incredible, that much is, there's this magical scope where you get less features and the price scoops up a lot, and you start getting more glamour. But that's just how the consumer industry is.
Yeah,
But
sure.
but check it out. So I just want everyone who's listening to this to think about this and know this. So what they're doing, what the high definition audio stuff is supposed to be 24-bit, 96K or higher rate sample rate music. It's like music right now is recorded at 16 bits. 16 bits means it has so many holes, and it's recorded at a certain speed. That's the sample rate. And high definition audio is supposed to be a bigger sample rate and bigger speed. You get more information, so you're supposed to get a bigger, fuller sound. In the world of recording, high-end recording studios, we do typically, a lot of time people do record at higher sample rates because as you start layering instruments, you get more headroom, you get better sound. The reason I'm bringing this up is because the demo material that they're using is all old songs, and absolutely 0% of that was recorded with high definition equipment. The high definition audio, the benefits of it probably will not really be seen until probably a year, 2 years from now, given that the technology sticks around and that people record albums in the high sample rate and mix it down in the high sample rate and keep it in that rate to give to Sony or give to these services so that can be purchased. I just want to just say that
Okay.
so if you're listening and you're sitting there and thinking, oh, high def doesn't sound all that good, the reason why is because they're using material that's recorded in 16-bit. You can't convert stuff and have it sound better. It doesn't work. You can go back to the mastering files and try to bring it out, but then now you're taking analog tape, and now we're already digital. We can already have it good. Why degrade it? Anyway. Just side note, just want to let everybody know, if you're into that kind of stuff, FYI, that's a fact. I listened to it, and yeah, I think this sounded great, just so you know.
Cool. Well, I'm glad you actually got a chance to listen to it, because I know you and I talked about it, a lot of speculation, and I know you said there's a particular market that eats this sort of thing up, which is great, good for them. And I know you have an ear for it, so I'm glad that you were able to hear it firsthand, and you have a fairly positive review of it.
Yeah. Oh, and one last quick thing: those weird
if you could
boxes.
buy me one, that would be nice.
That's never gonna happen. Those boxes that they have on the side, like they sell these D to A converter boxes and all that. That I'm so much against. So much. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, right? I could buy something for way cheaper than that and get the exact same result. So that much is not just Sony, because I've seen multiple, like Korg does that, and a lot of companies are doing that. That much I'm kind of like, no. But the rest of the entire idea, the technology and the bit rates and all that, that's legit. I stand by that. That is good stuff. Anyway, all right, Tony, Amazon Fire TV is going to have an update. That's going to be pretty cool.
Amazon Fire TV has planned to update their line of their Fire TV and their Fire TV Stick with a bunch of new upgrades. So if you are an Amazon Fire TV user, listen up. This is actually really cool. So first and foremost, they're going to be supporting expandable USB. So for example, the Fire TV itself only has 8 gigabytes internally, and when you start filling that up with a bunch of your music, a bunch of apps, and a bunch of movies specifically, that can get filled up pretty quickly. But now connecting it with an external hard drive or a flash drive, now you can pretty much put whatever you want on there. I don't know if this means that you can actually play apps off of the USB storage, but at least when it comes to media, there's not going to be any kind of problem there. Also, they announced that if you have plans to use the Fire TV or the Fire TV Stick in a Wi-Fi situation which requires you to authenticate it, aka a hotel room, airports, or even college dorms, they are going to enable these two devices, the Fire TV and Fire TV Stick, to be able to somehow have their own semi-built-in browser, which would allow you to, on screen of the TV, accept the terms and conditions of whatever establishment that you're using their Wi-Fi. Now, mind you, if you are using a hotel Wi-Fi and in the terms and conditions it specifically says we do not allow you to use things like Fire TV and Fire TV Stick over our Wi-Fi due to the fact that the stream is going to minimize the bandwidth for our other residents and guests, that's up to the hotel. But the fact that Amazon is doing this is great, because up until now, the only way that you could use these devices like the Chromecast and Fire TV Stick in the hotel rooms is the fact that you would actually have to bring your own router in. And believe me, there's a lot of people that do this, especially if they live in hotel rooms for their their jobs and things like. Well, not live in hotel rooms, but you get the picture.
Mm-hmm.
So this is really cool. There are obviously other options out there as well too. One option is Miracast, but there's a little bit of latency with Miracast. But with respects to the more widely known case scenarios, this is going to be great for them. And then finally, one feature that I think is great: the Fire TV will also support Bluetooth headphones, which allows you to Bluetooth connect your headphones to your Fire TV, and aside from the flashing screen that's going off in a dark room, at least the audio is not going to wake up your significant other or the person that is happen to dorm with you or what have you. So that's cool. I think that's great because there've definitely been times where I'm Chromecasting a YouTube video or Netflix and I'm in bed because we have one of the TV upstairs, and my wife rolls over and says, "Can you just turn the TV off, go to bed, please?" I'm like, "Oh, but I'm in the middle of Spartacus, and I just want to finish this episode." And okay, fine. And then I'll just pull up Spartacus on my phone. Well, at least now I'll have one less thing to argue with her about, and so she won't hear it. She'll just maybe see flashing lights. I don't know. That's between me and my wife. But this is cool. And then the final thing is the Fire TV Stick is now going to be available in three new markets: UK, Germany, and Austria, and that'll be on April 15th. So good for you, Amazon.
Awesome.
I know you can't see my thumbs up, but the folks on YouNow can. Because if you go to YouNow and look for me, Tech News While Driving, you could see me there as well, too.
So the word is, we need another video streaming service. And we need a vessel to deliver this service to us.
Well, Sean, do I have a vessel for you?
Oh my God! My life is complete.
Well,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So what's else about? So I'm looking at it. We have another a la carte video, no commercials, video service that's going to be a paid one. But listen, they have a little free offer here, a little cool launch deal. What do you got here? 1 year for the first 3 days. Everyone who signs up in the first 3 days gets 1 year free subscription. Is that again, or how they go?
Here's the funny thing. This actually, this service came out on the 21st, and nobody heard about it. And they were giving a month away for free, and no one really signed up for it. And then they said, "F it, we'll give a year for free." And now they got a bunch of beta people signing up for it. I don't know if it's necessarily beta anymore, but they got a bunch of new users all of a sudden because they're giving a year away for free. And after the year, it's going to be essentially $3 a month. And they're going to be mobile apps on iOS and Android. Android's coming later. I think iOS is going to be first, and obviously the desktop. And what Vessel is it is a paid subscription video service, wherein that with well-known publishers from the likes from YouTube, as well as your everyday news stations, will have exclusive content on Vessel. And like I mentioned to you, Sean, earlier, if Facebook were to do something similar to this, but I know it's free on Facebook, but if they were to do something similar, it might be interesting if they did have exclusive content on Facebook. But again, going back to Vessel, there are channels that you will be very familiar with from the likes of Ray William Johnson, equals 3, what's that called? Unbox Therapy, and what's that guy that Epic Mealtime. So what they're doing is that they're going to continue having their their YouTube channel, and they're going to have a Vessel channel, and within their Vessel channel, they are going to have exclusive videos for the first 72 hours that you can watch on Vessel first, and then eventually those publishers and performers and I guess creators can then, due to the agreement with Vessel, can then post their videos elsewhere, like on Vimeo or YouTube or I guess Facebook directly. And so Vessel's whole thing is exclusive content and unique content and no ads because you're paying for it. Do you think that this will eventually become a popular means of getting on-demand video? Because if you think about it, paying for subscription of particular content we've kind of gotten used to, even with ads, because Hulu Plus is still viable means to get your, your whole back catalog of TV shows, and just waiting a day for them to show up on Hulu. And then you have Netflix for now $10 a month, that has a whole back catalog of movies and TV shows and what have you. We're kind of now used to having to pay for that. And also, taking an example, Netflix also shows YouTube shows, and in the form of different seasons. Like Freddie Wong's Video Game High School can be found on Netflix as well too, as well as YouTube still. But YouTube, going back to YouTube and Vimeo, these are free services, and YouTube has attempted to have their own kind of paywall service, where, if you remember, we talked about this many years ago, where you can subscribe to specific paid channels. Each channel would cost you a different amount, but you would get exclusive UFC videos, or exclusive golf videos, or exclusive Sesame Street videos. But that didn't do well. Do you think Vessel aggregating it all with already well-known creators would do well, or is it kind of like a lost cause? Now, mind you, the creator of Vessel is the creator of Hulu, so he knows what he's talking about, and they already have $75 million in venture capitalist funding, which this early in the game is very unheard of. So what do you think? What do you think about this? Is it going to be successful, or do they have a lot to learn?
I honestly think that they need to taper their expectations to what they feel they're really going to get. Like, for example, there are a lot of video streaming services out there. Everyone out there is trying to make their own thing. They're trying to offer exclusive content. Netflix is getting into their own content because, why not make something that you cannot find anywhere? And it's working extremely well in their favor. This is a situation, as you mentioned, where they're taking content that is existing elsewhere and they're putting it behind a paywall. They said $3 is not a bad price, so you can't go wrong with that. I like that. I'm just kind of, it's hard to say what it can be. It's like you don't really know what this can do, what this can become, because, well, it's too new. It's too, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. But at the same time, if they can offer content that is very unique and at the right price, and they have a good amount of financial backing, what it looks like they do, because they have a lot of big names behind it, then they're good. What I'm worried is I'm worried that the people who backed this and gave them money have expectations of getting it to this big. In reality, it's only going to be this big because there's so many different options out there. Everyone's going to get a smaller cut of the big pie instead of less people getting a bigger cut of of that same pie. If you kind of get what I mean.
So I'm going to go with what you said. And there are two things that you mentioned. There's a lot of big names behind this that have signed up to be part of the 135 companies from the get-go, including NBC Universal, Fox, right, A&E, Discovery, and a bunch of major sports leagues.
NBA.
Mm-hmm. So, and you mentioned that the likes of Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon have created their own in-house content that you can only get from them. So if Vessel were to do the same thing, wherein that Fox has their own show, maybe even at 5-minute clips, but you can only watch it on Vessel. Maybe not even release it to YouTube, but you can only watch it on Vessel. And you can only watch these exclusive interviews with sport icons only on Vessel. For $3 a month, that might be worth it, especially if those shows are good. The content needs to be good, because if it is only you have to wait 72 hours and then they release the content to YouTube, then yeah, no one's going to watch it. You're right. They're just going to wait, because they already had to wait for the creator to publish it. So if they just have to wait 3 more days, they'll wait 3 more days for the publisher to publish it on YouTube or wherever else. So it needs to be good content. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm going through the curation of it right now. I'm like picking a bunch of content as we're doing because it's free right now. So why would I
Yeah.
not do it? I'd be a
So
fool not to do this right now.
so again, for those that are watching live on YouTube and now, go to vessel.com, sign up. It is free for a year. Just try it out. Just see if you like it. Maybe there's a channel in there that you might not have signed up on YouTube, but Alec Baldwin has his own channel. I don't know what he's talking about, but if you like Alec Baldwin, and you might follow his channel on Vessel, and a year from now, like, I want to continue to get Baldwin every day. That sounds weird, but I'll pay $3 a month for me to have the opportunity to see what Baldwin is up to.
Awesome.
Him and his 13,000 brothers that he has. So many brothers.
All right, my friend. So what do we got going on here? Oh, dude. All right. So if you thought cruise control was cool and you thought self-driving cars, the thing was far away, well, I hate to tell you this, you are mistaken because some very, very well-off people are going to have some capabilities that they never had before. The Tesla Model S is going to get the ability to self-drive it. Well, to self-drive itself.
The 807-mile drive between Seattle and San Francisco, with just a few stops along the way to charge the vehicle, you would be able to stay in your lane, do appropriate lane changes without touching the steering wheel. Now, before you freak out, how is this all happening? You have to remember, this technology is already embedded in a lot of luxury vehicles from the likes of Lexus, Audi, and Mercedes, BMW. We've seen the ads where the guy is veering out of his lane and the auto blind spot mirror detects there's a vehicle and brakes and automatically goes back in the lane that he's supposed to be in, or it automatically brakes when the little boy runs out into the street. So a lot of this technology is already viable. You don't necessarily need a lot of I'm sure there's obviously regulation behind it, but it's not as much regulation as to what Google has to do with their self-driving cars that doesn't have a steering wheel, that doesn't have gauges, that has maybe 2 buttons to do an emergency stop, and that's about it. But this is making those automotive autonomous features a little bit more forefront, where the autopilot that Homer Simpson jokes about in that one episode of The Simpsons, where he presses cruise control and says, "School, please." We're getting there a little bit. Now, this feature is really only going to be apparent on long-haul drives, so it's not going to be be able to be enabled in urban environments because of all the different hazards that can come about, and schools and people that are walking. Like, come on. But this is awesome, man. I mean, if anybody can do it this quickly and with no apology whatsoever, it's going to be Elon Musk. And the way that he teased it on Twitter, it was just funny. He's like, "I've got something big to say on Thursday," and this was last week. And yeah, this is pretty big, in the sense that it's getting one step closer to truly autonomous driving. And I don't know if this is going to push the other auto industry giants to increase their sensors and their capabilities of something similar. I'm sure it will, but it's just we're getting closer to a future where our kids are going to have to worry less about parallel parking and looking over the shoulder and doing all that kind of stuff that we all had to learn when we took driving lessons.
I think it's a learning experience. Just
Oh yeah,
running into that poor. I'm just kidding. All right, so
dude, no, like off topic.
Oh, we haven't been there at all today. Just so you know.
right outside my son's school, there's a lady that was crossing the street.
Oh, no.
She was crossing the street, and some person was making a left turn and hit her. Like, how do you miss her? Like, you're how fast? I just couldn't believe it. And the ambulance came, a bunch of cops. And the lady's fine. She was a few bumps and bruises, but it was just like, come on, how are you not paying attention in a school zone? Like, you have crossing guards. We're here. I'm in a freaking yellow vest. What are you looking at?
Hard to say.
Yeah.
All right. So we got one more here. Now this is just a quick follow-up here. I guess we talked rumor that Netflix was actually possibly working with Nintendo to make a Legend of Zelda series or something on it, something big, especially after the success of House of Cards and other big shows like Hemlock Grove.
Right. Who?
I know.
What?
I just wanted to say, what was the name of that? Anyway, Orange is the
I'm
New Black and
surprised
all
that you
that.
remembered the name of that show. I can't wait for the Orange is the New Black coming back, bro.
Anyway, so if you were into that, I guess they were talking about rumored of a Nintendo Zelda thing happening, not happening. Iwata from Nintendo said, "Hold your horses, y'all." Nah, hey. So I'm sorry. Chill out. Nothing's happening.
He said
Mm-hmm.
the partnership was not based on correct information. And The Verge points out that he's not denying it, but it's also possible he's being cagey. And a couple of other analysts I was listening to mentioned that when this rumor was first revealed by the Wall Street Journal, that might have that report of this partnership might have actually caused friction within the partnership. So it could have been that there was a live action Zelda TV show set to go on Netflix, but then when it came out, I was like, well, we weren't completely set on this, and we didn't sign any documents. We were just talking. Maybe this isn't such a good idea, or maybe it is a good idea. I mean, we could speculate all day, all night, but I'd still like to see a Zelda. I grew up with Zelda, but I never played Zelda. I'll tell you right here, right off. I know who Link is. I know Zelda is not Link. I know that difference. Okay.
All right. So my theory is Nintendo is working with another company to do this, and when somebody asks, I was like, it's like Netflix, like, oh, I'm not like Netflix, and then everybody took it from there.
Dude, maybe they're working with Vessel.
Yeah, you never know, but but I'm just thinking like there's probably something like that. I would put money that is what really happened, and he's just like, well, because they're not really denying that they're doing it. They're denying that there's a partnership between this company, and there's like, well, wait, the parties involved. Hey, Netflix is not involved here. We haven't talked to them. We're talking to Hulu instead. Just kidding.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with you because, I mean, yeah, Nintendo has been very headstrong about their IP, and when this Zelda rumor came out, a good majority of us were like, I doubt that's happening because Nintendo really doesn't like letting go of their IP and their characters and licenses. But then they made a partnership with DNA, and it's like, okay, well, they're willing to a certain degree let go. And not necessarily of all artistic merit, but they're willing to have other companies use their IP and use their license, and with approval, they'll create mobile games. And maybe it's a possibility that they're going to have some random company with a company that is similar to Netflix. Create live-action TV show of Zelda. It might be only in Japan. It might be something like that, and it's not Netflix. It's just something like Netflix in Japanese. It might be that.
Like DNA.
Like DNA. Like DNA is. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm taking this, because that's what we got with DNA. They said that they would not do properties and all that, and they announced they did not want to do their existing IPs on other systems. Now they helped in working with DNA to create something new. What if they're doing something similar with a similar company? That's why I figured. So they're working with a Netflix-like company, and some people probably say, oh, you mean not like Netflix? Oh, they're working with Netflix. Oh my God, let's get excited. Or they're friction. Who never. Anyway. Oh, wow, that's it. I guess we got to the end here. All right, I guess everybody, thank you for hanging out. This was fun.
Definitely.
We want to mention something one last time, and this is this awesome giveaway. Tony, why don't you tell them one more time about this?
So if you're just listening right now, halfway through the podcast, or if you're listening right now on YouNow, we are doing a giveaway on LazyTechGuys.com. You can watch the video on our YouTube channel, get some more information, because I'm awesome in the YouTube video. What's going on, Alfie? But what's key is that if you want to enter the giveaway, you have to go to the Lazy Tech Guy webpage of the giveaway article and fill out in the Rafflecopter form what you did. So if you commented or liked the YouTube video of the giveaway, you have to let me know there, because that's how I tabulate all of the entries with the Rafflecopter form. So you do have to do that on the Lazy Tech Guy website. If you don't do that, you're not going to be considered entered. So I know we just had 2 people comment in the form on YouTube, said, sign me up, like let me get in. I'm like, okay, but I still need your entry on the Rafflecopter form, which you can find on LazyTechGuys.com in the giveaway article. So just make sure you do that if you want to win a free copy of Windows 8.1 Pro. Again, this is a full copy. You can upgrade your existing machine or build a new machine, and then you'll get the free upgrade to Windows 10, and everybody's going to be happy. This ends this Friday, and I know in the article it doesn't say that, but I'm going to fix that when we end this end the show. And that is pretty much about it. That's it for me. Sean?
Yeah, all that what he just said. I'm on Vessel right now. I'm here trying to figure out what's wrong with their all categories button, which doesn't work correctly. You hover over it, and then it lights up below it. Oh, the all categories. So when you go down to start selecting it, it disappears. You're like, what the? So you click it to do it, it doesn't work. You click and hold, it doesn't work. So you hover over it, it doesn't work. It just goes away before you can select anything.
Huh.
Somebody on the website, get to work on that. Fix that. So no one can select the categories of what they want to watch. Anyway, you're right about now. Anyway, all right. Thank you everyone for hanging out with us. It was fun. Give you some contact information for us. So you can call us at area code 707-722-5299. You can email us at comments@lazytechguys.com. You can find us on the Facebook, Twitter, and Google Plus if you look up Lazy Tech Guys. And our YouTube channel is Lazy Tech TV. That's the one you want to subscribe to and be part of, follow, and more. So we would appreciate if you jump to all those places, and as well as visiting our website, lazytechguys.com, so you can read more and all that good stuff. We also want you to check out audible.com. Use the URL audibletrial.com/lazy to sign up. Check out 30 days of service, $15 value. Get a free book. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And you get the free, even if you decide you don't want to be part of it, doesn't cost you anything, and you get to keep the book. Definitely a win-win across the board. So audibletrial.com/lazy. We'd like to thank you guys all for hanging out again, and we'll be back next week to talk about news and tech information and more. So on that, we are out. Have a great evening, morning, and all that, and see you later. Bye.
Peace.